Archangel Michael says, "I am reaching toward you with an urgent voice that carries the weight of heaven's concern, because something sacred is moving toward your home tonight, and it is not a moment that should pass you by without your heart being fully awake to it, for God has chosen this hour to bring into your life a divine stirring that will not only protect what is precious to you but also open the door to blessings that your soul has long prayed for, though you may not have realized that. Your prayers have already been answered in the quiet places of God's eternal plan." Type 222 if you know God is with you. The angels are moving gently around you in this very moment, whispering in ways you cannot see, guiding you towards safety and surrounding your dwelling with light that no darkness can break through. And though the world may seem heavy and uncertain, heaven has already declared that tonight is not a night for fear, but a night for grace, where the love of the Father will spread like a covering over your house, filling each corner with peace so deep that your heart will know without question that you are not alone. Subscribe to this channel if you believe God is guiding you. There is a holy urgency in this message, not to frighten you but to awaken you, because when God's messengers lean close, it is always to remind you that His love is stronger than any burden, and His hand is steady even when storms are rising. So let your spirit lean into Him tonight, and allow His voice to quiet every trembling thought, for He has promised that what belongs to Him will never be lost, and that includes you, your family, your dreams, and your soul, which He holds as priceless. I am begging you not to close your ears to this moment, because if you keep turning away from the gentle knocks of heaven, the whispers will become silent, and silence leaves room for emptiness. But if you pause, if you stay, if you allow this word to sink into the soil of your heart, you will see how God can take even the most broken parts of your life and turn them into the very testimony that shines His glory through you. And the very place of your pain can become the beginning of your healing. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. The Lord Jesus Christ has walked before you, carrying the weight of sorrow that no one else could lift, and in His steps you will find the pathway to strength that cannot be taken from you, because His love is not fragile, His promises do not fade, and His presence does not abandon. So tonight, as heaven hovers near, understand that this is not only an alert but also an invitation to draw near to the One who longs to cover you with mercy and surround you with light that will not flicker. Do not think that this message comes by chance or that it is just another voice among many, because when the Spirit of God calls, He calls with precision, and when He warns, He does so not to take but to give, not to hurt but to heal, and not to punish but to save. And I plead with you now to take these words into the quiet of your heart and let them guide you into a deeper trust, because there is more waiting for you than what your eyes can see, and more love surrounding you than what your heart can measure. The house where you live is not only a structure of walls and rooms but a sacred place where God desires to dwell with you, to bring laughter where there has been sorrow, to bring hope where there has been despair, and to bring peace where there has been chaos. And as you read these words tonight, know that the angels of God are standing at the door of your spirit, waiting for you to open wide so that heaven's blessings can pour in like light breaking through the dawn after a long and heavy night. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. Even if you feel unworthy, even if you feel forgotten, even if life has taken more from you than you ever thought you could endure, remember that God sees every tear that has fallen, He hears every sigh that has left your lips, and He treasures every moment where you chose to keep believing even when nothing made sense. And tonight He is proving once again that His eye is still on you, His heart is still for you, and His plans for your life have not been taken away by the shadows of yesterday. Do not turn away, listen until the final word, for heaven has chosen this moment for you. So stay, listen, allow your spirit to rest in the truth that God is moving, that His Son Jesus Christ is standing beside you as your greatest defender, and that the Holy Spirit is whispering comfort into your soul, because this night has been chosen for you, not to destroy but to restore, not to weaken but to strengthen, and not to frighten but to assure you that you belong to the everlasting love that will never let you go. And as you hold on to this message, you will see His light break into your home in ways that will leave you forever changed. Archangel Michael says, I am calling your heart once more with a voice that trembles with urgency yet flows with the gentleness of God's love, because tonight carries a sacred turning point where the presence of the Lord is drawing near to your dwelling, and though shadows may try to creep close, they will not prevail. For the light of heaven is already filling the air around you and preparing to touch your life in ways that you cannot yet understand but will soon feel deep within your spirit. There is a holy movement in the unseen, a shifting of the atmosphere that comes when God sends His angels to surround His children, and I am here to tell you that you are not abandoned to face the weight of your struggles alone, because the Lord has already placed His shield around you, His Son has already carried the pain you thought would break you, and His Spirit is breathing comfort into places of your soul that you thought would remain forever wounded. Do not mistake this call for just another word passing through your ears, for heaven does not waste its breath, and when the voice of God's messenger comes it is because eternity is leaning close to remind you that every tear you have cried has been gathered, every fear you have carried has been seen, and every silent prayer you thought was lost has been answered in a timing that is unfolding right now within the very hours of this night, because God's hand is moving with purpose. I plead with you not to walk away from this message, because to ignore it would be to close your heart to the gift of safety and peace that God is extending to you, and though the world offers noise, distractions, and doubts that try to make you feel small, the truth is that your life has been chosen for something greater, and tonight's alert is heaven's way of reminding you that storms will not define you, darkness will not hold you, and fear will not destroy you. For the Lord has spoken. Protection over your life. Type 1919 to embrace healing. Jesus Christ is closer than the very breath in your lungs, and though you may not see Him with your eyes, He is walking through the rooms of your heart, calming the places of chaos, lifting the weight of sorrow, and pouring into you the kind of peace that the world cannot give nor take away, and as His presence lingers in your soul, you will discover that even in the silence of midnight His love is louder than the voices of doubt and His strength is greater than the burdens that try to press you down. The Father's love is not fragile, and His mercy is not scarce, for He is pouring Himself out over your life tonight, desiring to heal wounds you have carried for years and to restore dreams you thought were gone forever, and though you may feel that too much has been lost, remember that God is the one who brings life back to what was broken, and He is the one who writes stories of redemption from the pages that once held only pain. And tonight He is rewriting your story with His own hand. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. You must understand that the presence in your home tonight is not meant to harm but to heal, not meant to frighten but to free, because the angels stand guard at your door, and the Spirit of God is whispering into the stillness that your season of sorrow will not last forever, your battles will not defeat you, and your faith will not be wasted. For He is raising you up into a new chapter where His goodness will flow like a river into every dry place of your life. Take this word into your spirit with reverence, because if you choose to let it pass by you risk missing the moment when heaven is closest, yet if you choose to believe, to trust, to open your heart, then you will witness how quickly God can turn the atmosphere of your house from heaviness to joy, from emptiness to fullness, and from despair to hope, because His love is not delayed and His power is not weakened by time. And what He has promised will surely come to pass. So hold tightly to the truth being spoken now, rest in the assurance that the Lord Jesus has already claimed victory for you, and allow this night to become not a moment of fear but a testimony of faith, because you will wake to see that the God who never sleeps has kept watch over you, that the Christ who died and rose again has stood by your side, and that the Spirit who comforts has filled your soul with peace. For tonight is a sacred hour when heaven has drawn near to your home. Type 1414 to step into divine protection. Type 666 if you believe in God's grace. Archangel Michael says, I am once again standing before you with a message that carries the weight of eternity, because this night is marked by God as a turning point in your life, and I cannot let you pass it by without understanding how close heaven has come to your dwelling, how deeply the Father is reaching for your heart, and how urgently the Spirit is calling you into a place of shelter, safety, and grace that will not only protect you in this moment but will also shape the path of your future. The Lord has chosen this time because He knows the hidden burdens you have carried, the silent battles you have fought, and the pain that no one else has seen but Him, and though you may have thought those tears were unnoticed, they have been gathered by the hand of God and kept as a testimony of your faith, and now heaven is responding by surrounding your home with light so strong that no shadow can cross it. For this is not just another night but a night where angels are keeping watch. There is a reason this message reaches you with urgency, for God does not stir His messengers without cause, and tonight there are forces that desire to shake your peace, yet the Lord has declared that their power will not prevail, and so He sends me to urge you not to ignore the whisper of heaven, because within these words lies the assurance that the one who created you is fighting for you, and the house you live in is being sealed with divine protection that no enemy can break. Jesus Christ is not a distant thought nor a forgotten figure of the past, for He is alive and present, moving through the very moments of your day and standing now at the threshold of your heart, ready to enter fully into your life with a love so consuming that every wound, every fear, and every scar can be covered by His mercy, and as He walks beside you tonight, you must know that His promise remains unshaken. His blood still speaks for you, and His love will never grow weary. The Spirit of God is also moving, flowing into the stillness of your soul like a gentle river, washing away the heaviness of doubt and lifting you into a place where your heart begins to feel light again, and though you may not recognize the shift, you will sense the difference as peace settles upon your thoughts, as strength quietly builds within your spirit, and as hope begins to rise again. Because this is the work of the Comforter who has been sent to remind you that you are never forgotten, nor forsaken. I beg you not to close your heart to this moment, because to turn away would be to step back into shadows when God has already prepared light for you, and though the world may tempt you with distractions or try to convince you that these words are not for you, remember that heaven does not speak in vain, and the very fact that you are hearing this now is proof that you have been chosen to receive this promise, this warning, and this invitation into something greater than anything you could imagine. Type 1010 if you trust in God's timing. Your house is more than walls, more than rooms, more than the ground beneath it, for it is a place where God desires to make His presence known, where laughter can return, where joy can be rebuilt, and where love can be restored, and if you open your heart tonight you will feel how heaven fills every corner with light, how angels stand at every door, and how the Spirit breathes peace into the air, turning your home into a sanctuary that will hold the fragrance of God's goodness. Even in your weakness, even in your weariness, even in those moments where you feel you have no strength left, God has already declared that His strength will be your covering, and where you feel small He will make you stand tall, and where you feel broken He will make you whole again, for His plans do not depend on your perfection but on His power, and His love is more than enough to hold you steady through every storm that tries to shake you. So I tell you once more with all the urgency of heaven, do not walk away, do not turn aside, do not let this message slip past you like another voice in the wind, because tonight God is calling you, His Son is standing beside you, and His Spirit is filling you, and if you open your heart to this truth, you will discover that nothing can be lost when you are held in His hands, for His love is your shield, His mercy is your refuge, and His presence is your eternal promise. Archangel Michael says, I come again with a voice filled with the weight of heaven's concern and the gentleness of God's love, because the hour that unfolds before you is not ordinary, it is written in the scrolls of eternity as a moment when the Lord Himself draws close to your dwelling, and the message carried to you now is one that seeks to keep your heart awake, your spirit strong, and your faith steady. For what is happening tonight is not just about this night but about the unfolding of your journey with God that carries into every tomorrow. The Father has looked upon you with eyes that never grow weary, eyes that have seen every step you have taken, both the moments of triumph and the moments of weakness, and still His heart has not turned away from you. Instead His love surrounds you now with greater force than any darkness, and His hand stretches over your home as a covering, ensuring that no evil will find place within, for where His presence dwells, no shadow can remain, and tonight His presence is hovering over you. I bring this word with urgency because heaven's timing is never careless, and there are seasons when God sends His angels with a sharpness of tone and a swiftness of command, not to frighten but to prepare, not to wound but to heal, and not to push away but to draw near, and this is such a time, for the Lord is urging you to listen, to hold fast, and to believe that His plans are still alive within you, and that the blessings He has spoken will not be stolen by fear, delay, or despair. The Son of God, Jesus Christ, is standing as your defender even now, holding before the Father the price He already paid for your life, a price that covers your mistakes, your pain, and your brokenness, and because of Him you stand not as abandoned but as beloved, not as forsaken but as chosen, and not as weak but as carried, for His love did not end at the cross nor stop at the grave. His love is alive, eternal, and deeply present in your story tonight. Type 888 to open doors of abundance. You may feel the weight of battles that seem endless, you may feel worn by struggles that never seem to ease, but I tell you with all the certainty of heaven that God is not blind to your tears, He is not deaf to your cries, and He is not unmoved by your pain, for every sigh of your heart has been heard, and every step of your journey has been marked, and now the Spirit of God moves close to comfort you, to breathe peace into the very core of your being, and to remind you that you are not alone in the fight. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. Do not let doubt convince you that this message is not meant for you, for the very reason you hear it is proof that God has chosen this moment to reach you, and though distractions may pull at your mind or fear may whisper that you are not worthy, remember that Christ has already declared your worth, and the Father's love is unchanging, so open your spirit to receive this truth, for heaven's call is clear, and the angels are urging you to remain awake to the blessing that is unfolding within your home tonight. Your house, though simple in its form, has been chosen as a dwelling place for God's peace, a place where His Spirit longs to rest and His light longs to shine, and as you welcome Him, every corner will shift, every shadow will lift, and every fear will loosen its grip, for a home filled with the presence of God is a fortress that cannot be shaken, and tonight, if you hold to this word, you will sense the covering of His glory moving gently across your walls and settling within your heart. Even in your weakest moments, God's strength is present. Even when your hope feels thin, His promises are thick with certainty, and even when you feel like your story has been broken beyond repair, He is weaving it back together into something more beautiful than you imagined, for His love does not depend on your perfection but on His mercy, and His mercy is without end, flowing fresh every moment, carrying you from one day to the next with unshakable faithfulness. So I urge you again with all the love of heaven, do not turn away from this moment, do not close your ears, do not dismiss these words as noise, for they are not noise but life, they are not empty but filled with truth, and they are not fleeting but eternal, for tonight God calls you into His presence, His Son covers you with His love, and His Spirit fills you with peace, and if you hold this close, you will wake tomorrow not with fear but with assurance, not with despair but with hope, and not with emptiness but with the fullness of His love. Archangel Michael says, I come once more with the strength of heaven's voice and the tenderness of God's heart, because this night is unlike the others you have lived before, for it carries the hand of the Lord upon it, marking your house with His seal of protection and your soul with His eternal promise, and I cannot let you walk past this moment without opening your spirit to what heaven is preparing to release over your life. For the Father longs to turn this night into a testimony of His love and faithfulness. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. The Almighty has been watching you in every hidden place, in every weary sigh, in every quiet tear, and though you may think your struggles have been unseen, they have been lifted before His throne, and He has counted each one as precious, and now He sends His angels to your side so that you will know with certainty that you are never abandoned, never forgotten, never left to fight alone, because His love is greater than every fear, and His mercy is wider than every failure. This message carries urgency not to weigh you down but to lift you, because the hour you are standing in has been chosen for renewal, for the restoration of peace that was stolen, and for the rebirth of hope that had grown faint, and though the shadows of doubt may whisper loudly, they have no true authority, for the Lord Jesus Christ has already spoken victory over your life. And His word does not return empty but fulfills every promise it declares, so tonight you must hold tightly to faith. And let the light of heaven fill your heart. The presence of Christ is not far nor distant, for He is walking through the very moments of this night, touching the walls of your home with unseen hands of protection, lifting your spirit with a love that has no end, and standing guard over your heart with the same power that overcame death itself. And if you will open your heart to Him now, you will sense His nearness like a warmth in your soul, a calm that breaks through the noise, and a hope that gently awakens within you. The Spirit of God is whispering into the stillness of this moment, and His whisper is not weak but strong, carrying the assurance that you have been chosen for more than sorrow, more than fear, more than the weight of pain, because your story is not one of defeat but one of redemption, and though the enemy may have tried to break you, God has already written victory into your life, and tonight the Spirit moves to comfort, to heal, and to remind you that your destiny rests in the hands of a faithful Father. Do not ignore this call, for heaven does not waste its breath, and when the angels plead for your attention, it is because eternity is near, and this night has been marked for something holy, and though the world may distract you with its noise or convince you that these words are not for you, I assure you that they are, for the very reason you hear them is because God is reaching for you, desiring to lift you, to heal you, and to cover you with His peace. Your home has been chosen as a place of encounter, a place where God desires to dwell and to let His light shine, and as you let Him in, the walls of your house will carry peace, the rooms will hold joy, and the air will be filled with a presence that cannot be explained but only felt, and this presence will linger long after tonight, reminding you that the Lord has not only visited but has chosen to remain with you, and that His angels continue to guard every door and every window. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. Even in your weakness, you are not disqualified from His love, even in your mistakes, you are not removed from His mercy, and even in your darkest hour, you are not beyond His reach, for the cross of Christ is proof that nothing can separate you from the love of God, and tonight that love surrounds you like a shield, holding you steady, lifting your soul, and carrying you forward into a tomorrow that is filled with His promises. So take this word into your spirit and let it rest there, because tonight is not about fear but about faith, not about loss but about gain, not about emptiness but about fullness, for the Lord is calling you deeper into His presence, the Son is covering you with His love, and the Spirit is filling you with peace, and if you receive this, you will wake with joy, you will rise with strength, and you will carry the assurance that God has not only spoken over your life but has also acted on your behalf. Archangel Michael says, "I am sent once more to bring you words wrapped in the weight of eternity and the sweetness of God's love, because this night has been chosen as a sacred moment for your life, a moment where heaven leans close and the Lord Himself marks your house with His presence, for what unfolds now is not just about keeping you safe but about awakening your heart to the truth that you are deeply loved, powerfully protected, and eternally held within the arms of your Father who never leaves you. The Lord has watched your journey through the shadows and through the light. He has seen you in moments of quiet strength and in seasons of hidden weakness, and though you may have felt unseen by the world, you have never been unseen by Him, for every step you have taken has been followed by His mercy, and every sigh you have released has been heard by His Spirit, and tonight He surrounds you with a shield that no darkness can pierce, because His covenant of love remains unbroken and His promises are alive over your life. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. I come with urgency not to bring you fear but to stir you awake, because there are times when heaven must call with a voice that cannot be ignored. And this is such a time, for the Father has determined that His blessings will not pass you by, His peace will not be stolen, and His protection will not be delayed, and so He has sent His angels to your side to guard, to cover, and to remind you that you are chosen, and that the light of Christ is stronger than anything that tries to rise against you. Jesus Christ stands beside you in this very hour, not as a distant figure but as a living presence, carrying in His hands the proof of His sacrifice and the victory of His resurrection, and because of Him you are not abandoned but redeemed, not forsaken but beloved, and not empty but filled, for His love is pouring into the corners of your heart, healing wounds you thought would never close, and lifting burdens you thought you would carry forever, because He has already paid the price for your freedom. The Spirit of God is flowing into your home like a gentle wind, carrying peace that cannot be shaken, whispering hope that cannot be silenced, and filling your soul with comfort that cannot be stolen. And even if you feel tired, even if you feel worn from the battles you have endured, the Spirit is breathing new life into you tonight, giving you the strength to keep walking, the courage to keep believing, and the assurance that your story is not over but is only just beginning. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection. Do not turn your heart away from this moment, for this is not an ordinary message and not a passing word, but a divine invitation, a call from heaven that asks you to believe, to receive, and to stand in the shelter of God's love. And though the world may tell you that such things are impossible, I tell you with certainty that nothing is more real than the Father's mercy, nothing is more powerful than the Son's sacrifice, and nothing is more present than the Spirit's comfort. Your house tonight is a holy ground, a place where heaven has chosen to dwell, where angels have stationed themselves at the doors, and where God Himself is speaking peace into the air. And as you remain open, you will feel the shift, you will sense the change. You will know that this is no ordinary night, because the presence of God transforms ordinary into sacred, and the walls of your dwelling are now carrying the fragrance of His goodness and the strength of His promises. Even if you feel unworthy, even if you think your mistakes have pushed you too far, the truth is that nothing can separate you from the love of God, for His love does not measure you by your failings but embraces you in your humanity, and His mercy does not end when you stumble but carries you until you stand again, and tonight that mercy surrounds you like a flood, holding you steady, reminding you that your worth is beyond measure and your future is secure in Him. So I plead with you once more, hold this word close, let it enter your spirit, and allow it to remain with you, because tonight is not about fear but about faith, not about warning but about awakening, not about what you might lose but about what God is preparing for you to gain, for the Father has drawn near, the Son has covered you with love, and the Spirit has filled you with peace, and if you cling to this truth, you will wake tomorrow carrying the assurance that heaven has not only spoken, but has also acted on your behalf. Archangel Michael says, I return to you once again with words carried from the throne of God, because this very night is not like the countless nights you have already lived. It is a night when heaven is pressing close to your life with purpose, urgency, and mercy, and I have been sent to make sure you do not allow the weight of distraction, the noise of fear, or the weariness of your soul to close your ears to what is being offered. For the Lord Himself has chosen to cover your home with His light and to wrap your heart in His unfailing love. The Father has never looked away from you, not even for a single moment, for His gaze has followed you when you were strong and when you were broken, when you walked with confidence and when you stumbled in weakness. And though others may not have seen the hidden tears, the silent cries, or the burdens you carried in silence, He has seen every detail, He has heard every whisper, and He has treasured every moment of your faith, even when you thought it was too small, and tonight He draws near to assure you that His presence has not left you. This message does not come by accident, for heaven does not speak without meaning, and when God sends His angels with urgency, it is because the hour is sacred, and the Father longs to keep you safe, to lift your spirit, and to remind you that His promises are alive and active, not words written long ago but truths spoken now over your life, and as the angels keep watch around your home, you can rest knowing that no darkness will prevail. No fear will remain, and no scheme against you will succeed. Type 222 if you trust that God is with you always. Jesus Christ is the center of this promise, for He is the reason you are not abandoned, the reason you are not forgotten, and the reason you can stand with hope even in the middle of storms. And His presence tonight is closer than the air you breathe, wrapping you in a love that will never break, carrying away the shame that once tried to define you, and pouring into you a new strength that does not come from your own ability but from the endless mercy of His sacrifice and the unshakable power of His resurrection. The Spirit of God is breathing through the walls of your dwelling like a gentle fire, unseen but undeniable, warming the places in your soul that had grown cold, lighting up the areas of your heart that had become heavy with doubt, and stirring within you a quiet courage that you did not realize you still carried. And though you may have thought your story was nearing its end, the Spirit whispers tonight that this is not the end but a new beginning, and the hand of God is already writing chapters of redemption you have not yet seen. Do not dismiss this word as if it were another sound in the distance, because the very reason you are reading it now is proof that you were chosen for it, and though the enemy may try to convince you otherwise, the truth is clear. Your life is not a mistake, your steps are not forgotten, and your soul is not lost, for the Father has claimed you, the Son has redeemed you, and the Spirit is guarding you. And tonight all of heaven is leaning close so you can know that your tomorrow is being secured in His love. Your house is becoming a sanctuary, not because of its walls or its foundation, but because the Lord has entered it, and as His presence rests upon it, you will feel the heaviness begin to lift, you will sense the atmosphere shifting, and you will know that peace has come to stay. For when God steps into a place, fear has no voice, sorrow has no claim, and despair has no seat. And tonight He is choosing your dwelling as a place where His goodness will remain and His light will shine without end. Even if you feel unworthy, even if your past whispers lies that try to chain you down, remember that His mercy is greater than your failures and His grace is wider than your mistakes, for the cross of Christ is proof that nothing is beyond redemption, and tonight that redemption is being spoken over your life, reminding you that you are chosen, you are loved, and you are covered, and that nothing, no darkness, no fear, no loss, can separate you from the Father's embrace. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. So I urge you once again with the full voice of heaven, hold this message in your heart, let it anchor your spirit, and allow it to remain with you, because this night is not one of emptiness but of awakening, not one of fear but of faith, and not one of warning alone but of blessing, for the Father is near, the Son is covering you with His unfailing love, and the Spirit is filling your soul with peace, and if you believe this truth, you will rise tomorrow with new strength and new joy, knowing that you have been touched by God's hand. Type 333 to welcome peace into your heart. Archangel Michael says, I come once more with words carried by the breath of heaven and wrapped in the warmth of God's love, because tonight has been set apart as a moment unlike any other, a moment where the Father Himself is drawing near to your life with His mighty hand of protection and His tender heart of compassion, and I cannot allow you to overlook what is unfolding. For the Spirit is already moving through your house and the love of Jesus Christ is already resting upon you like a mantle of light that no shadow can overcome. The Father has been watching you through every valley you have walked, through every storm you have endured, and through every night where tears fell quietly upon your pillow, and though you may have felt unseen and unheard, you have never been hidden from His sight, for He has cherished every moment of your faith, even when it trembled, and He has treasured every prayer you whispered, even when it was weak. And tonight He responds by surrounding you with angels who stand guard over your dwelling and by covering your heart with a peace that the world cannot take away. This message comes with urgency because God's timing is precise, and there are moments when heaven leans close with such intensity that your spirit must awaken to it, and this is such a night, for the Lord is not willing to let you walk another step believing you are unprotected, unvalued, or unloved, and so He speaks now with power, with mercy, and with authority, reminding you that His hand is stretched over you. His promise is alive within you, and His Spirit is moving around you to keep you safe. Jesus Christ, the Eternal Son, is standing in the center of your life tonight, and He does not stand in silence but in victory, for His scars speak louder than your pain, His cross speaks louder than your failures, and His resurrection speaks louder than your fears, and because of Him you can rest without trembling, knowing that He has already fought the battles you thought would crush you and has already secured the blessings you thought were too far away, for His love does not end, and His presence does not depart. The Spirit of God is breathing softly through the very air of your home, bringing with Him a peace that sinks into your soul, a comfort that eases your mind, and a hope that begins to stir gently within your heart, and though you may not see Him with your eyes, you will feel Him in the calm that settles over you, in the strength that begins to rise within you, and in the assurance that you are not walking through this night alone but are being carried by a power greater than your own. Do not allow doubt to pull you away from this moment, for doubt will whisper that you are unworthy, that you are forgotten, that these words are not for you, but the truth of heaven declares the opposite. You are chosen, you are beloved, you are remembered, and you are worth every measure of mercy that God is pouring out over you, and the very reason you hear this now is proof that the Father's eyes are on you and His heart is open to you. Type 2121 if you trust God's plan for your life. Your house tonight has been marked by the presence of God, not because of bricks or wood or walls but because His Spirit has chosen to dwell within it, and as you welcome Him, the atmosphere shifts, the shadows fade, and the light of heaven fills every space, and soon you will feel it, the sense that peace has settled, that angels are standing near, and that your home has become more than a place of rest. It has become a sanctuary where God's love abides. Even when you feel too weak to believe, even when your faith feels too fragile to hold on, know that God's strength does not depend on yours, for His love is unshaken by your doubts, His mercy is not reduced by your fears, and His promises are not delayed by your weariness, and tonight He is proving once more that His hand is steady, His heart is near, and His plans for you are alive, carrying you into a future filled with healing, blessing, and hope. So hold these words close, let them fill your heart, and do not let them pass you by, for tonight is not a night of emptiness but of fullness, not a night of loss but of restoration, and not a night of despair but of awakening, for the Father is near, the Son is covering you with His eternal love, and the Spirit is filling your home with unshakable peace, and if you embrace this truth, you will rise tomorrow knowing that heaven has not only spoken but has also acted, sealing your life with God's unending care. Archangel Michael says, I come again with the voice of urgency mixed with the gentleness of God's eternal love, because this very night carries with it the weight of divine purpose, and you must not allow your heart to drift away from what heaven is placing before you, for the Lord is moving in your home, surrounding your life with His presence, and sending forth His angels to guard you, to protect you, and to assure you that His mercy has not failed you and His promises remain unshaken. The Father has been near to you even in the hours you thought you were most alone. He has been watching as you carried burdens heavier than your strength and as you faced fears greater than your courage, and though you may have believed no one saw, His eyes have never left you, His heart has never turned from you, and His hand has never released you, and tonight He stretches that hand once more, covering your household with light so powerful that no darkness can cross its threshold. This message comes now because the timing is holy, and heaven does not delay when the Spirit of God has determined to move, for there are moments when the angels are commanded to speak clearly, moments when the urgency of eternity demands your attention, and this is one of those moments, for the Father desires to awaken within you a faith that will not falter, to plant within you a peace that cannot be stolen, and to pour into your soul a hope that will carry you through every trial still ahead. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brain wave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. Jesus Christ is walking close beside you in this very hour, carrying with him the fullness of his love, the strength of his sacrifice, and the victory of his resurrection, and he is not ashamed of you nor distant from you, for he has chosen to call you his own, to cover you with his grace, and to stand as your shield, and even as doubts try to rise within you, his love remains steadfast, his arms remain open, and his presence remains near, reminding you that you are never abandoned. The Spirit of God is breathing over your life like a soft wind carrying the fragrance of heaven, and his whisper is speaking calmness into your fears, his presence is soaking peace into your mind, and his power is lifting your weary heart, and though the battles of your life may have left scars, tonight he is pouring healing over those wounds, turning your pain into testimony, and reminding you that your story is not one of defeat but one of victory in the Lord. Do not allow fear to dismiss this call, for fear is the voice of lies, but this word is the voice of truth, and the truth is that God's love has never left you, God's mercy has never ended for you, and God's plan has never been stolen from you. And the very reason you are hearing this now is because heaven has chosen this hour to reach you, not to condemn but to comfort, not to frighten but to strengthen, and not to warn alone but to bless. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. Your home tonight is sacred ground, not because of its walls or windows but because the presence of God rests within it, and his angels are standing at its doors like guardians of light, ensuring that nothing formed against you will prosper, and as you rest in this truth, you will begin to sense how the atmosphere changes, how heaviness begins to lift, how peace begins to flow, and how assurance begins to settle in your soul. For where God is welcomed, his blessings remain. Even when you doubt your worth, even when you question your strength, and even when you feel too broken to stand, remember that God's love is not fragile, his mercy is not thin, and his promises are not weak, for he has chosen you not because of your perfection but because of his grace, and his grace is enough to hold you steady, to lift you higher, and to carry you further than you ever thought you could go. Amen.